G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the east side of the map, playing as the Malians. In the colour teal, it's Crackety here. We're going to switch these guys over, there we go. We got Crackety here over on that east side, and then over on the west side, playing in the colour orange. It's a beautiful colour matchup we've got for you today. Representing my insanity in the colour orange as the English, it's Zerton. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know what number we're up to right now. I think this might be game number 12 in this series, but it is an absolute banger. These guys have been going off. Zerton's definitely got the advantage at the moment, but Crackety's just bought one back. I'll take you in and show you guys exactly where we're at, but before we do, I will mention that the Red Bull Wallalol is happening right now, so I don't know where you are in the world, but I reckon you should tune in over onto the Red Bull Wallalol. And give it a look. Give it a look. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch it. But there's going to be plenty of Age of Empires 4 content, plenty of action over there in Heidelberg. So anyway, let's get into where we currently stand in this series. So here you go. We've got the Malians versus the English today. The previous game was French versus Malians, and we did see Zerton go down using the Malians. So the French for Crackety being quite strong. Now, when it comes to civilizations that are remaining for these players, Crackety here has got one of the original civilizations remaining. And as you guys know, once you've got no civilizations left to pick from, that is it, you lose. Whereas Zerton has still got 4 of the original civilizations remaining. So definitely the advantage at the moment lies with Zerton. The question's going to be whether he's going to be able to hold on throughout the game. Something interesting that someone in Twitch chat actually pointed out earlier was that Zerton has won every single game with the Ottomans, but he has lost every single game with the Malians. So I don't know if that's indicative of the balance of the civilizations, whether that's just indicative of Zerton's preference for the civilizations, but definitely he is a beast on the Malians, and he is a baby, or rather a beast on the Ottomans and a baby on the Malians. But anyway, let's continue talking about this game. We are 2 minutes into this game. It's going to be a single scout opening from both of these players. We've got Zerton. Oh gosh, sorry about my camera control. Quite poor just then. We've got Age Up about to come through here from Zerton. It's going to be a council hall in the front of the base, so no Abbey of the King shenanigans. Yeah, everything that you'd typically expect. Now, the last time we did see this matchup, I think we have seen this matchup. I'm going to pull it up once again because we saw the English earlier today. Yeah, it was English versus the Malians. So this is a bit of an interesting matchup. I think that the English are quite strong in this matchup, just because, well, I feel like the English are just faster. Oh no! It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ourselves a trade game. Oh, but unfortunately for Crackety, he doesn't get the best trade spawn. Oh, this is heartbreaking for Crackety. So I'm wondering exactly how he's going to look to play this, because when it comes to trade spawn, and this is something that I've talked about before, hopefully it gets fixed up. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, the trade post should always spawn in the corner of the map, and it doesn't. Sometimes it spawns in the middle. And because of that, the return that you're going to be getting on your trade is absolutely shithouse. And it means that trade becomes less viable. But we do still see Crackety going for trade here. Now, I don't know where he's going to be thinking about trading, whether he's going to be doing... you know what he could do if he's absolutely mad? If he's an absolute madman, trade to this corner. You put your marketplace down here and just, I guess, like wall it up and put a gate on. And then just put all of your markets around here and then just send them down to this corner. So that's probably how I would do it. But yeah, it just doesn't feel good. So if he was to trade to this corner from this trading post, he would be looking at about 80 to 90 gold a trade. Whereas if this was actually it would probably even be less than that, probably closer to 70. Whereas if it's in the corner here, you're talking about 170. It's a massive difference. Well, we'll take a look over at the other side of the base, well, the other side of the map, rather, as Zerton begins, and he's just going with a good old-fashioned longbow push. He aged up 4 minutes into this game, and he is already out here. Longbows now starting to get picked up. Not only is the wolf in here, but we've also got the scout in here dishing out damage. Look at this. We got both the Gaia and the guy over there, Crackety here, dishing out damage. Gold vein, as well as the pit mine, has got 8, or rather 6 of the houses around it. And now the wolf going to be running into the second longbowman. He's dishing out plenty of damage here. This wolf is getting great value, but the javelin throwers from the archery range going to be coming out. Look at this. Look at how annoying he is right here. Just putting these longbows sitting right here. But take a look at this. What else we've got going on behind the scenes. we've got him going into a second town center build order. So opens up with a very, and this is one of the things I hate about the English. I absolutely, I really kind of like, I hate this. So you see this coming, right? And if you're watching from Crackety's perspective, you're like, I don't know what's going on right now. This is not good. We're getting absolutely all in, and I went for the Saharan Trade Network. What do I do? But behind this, there's 2 TCs. And so it's like, you really have to be effective with your scouting. And you can see Crackety's trying his best to avoid going over to his next wood line. You can see he doesn't want to go down there for good reason. Javelin thrower going to be coming out now. Should be able to take on these units pretty effectively. Gets line of sight around the corner. A little bit like Body Type 4 in Body Type 4 in Star Wars: The Old Republic. I don't know if you guys ever played MMOs, but I'm a big MMO guy. I played a game called The Old Republic, Star Wars, and you could choose different body types. And there was Body Type 4, which was like a big fat guy. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that guy. Anyway, Body Type 4 couldn't line of sight. So you'd hide behind like a post or a pillar or something like that. You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. You're too fat. And so your enemy could target you. Oh, God. It was so funny. It was so funny. And there was actually a guild that was called Body Type 4 Can't LOS. And I just remember the first time I saw that, I lost it. Oh, man. That was so funny. But speaking of funny, we got ourselves a little bit of a trade post over here. And we've got ourselves some of the saddest trade in the world. Please don't tell me this is going to be what I think it's... No, don't. Crackety. You can't do me like this. Look, and this is something that I talk about in another video, where I talk about the Malian trade. There are times to do it, and there are times where you shouldn't do it. This is a time where you shouldn't do it. It's so sad. This is the saddest trade network I've ever seen. He's got 34 gold. Okay, what did I say? I said like he's bringing back maybe 80 gold or something like that. 70 gold. He's bringing back 34 gold. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's so sad. Not only is the trade network not in there, maybe this is what Crackety's doing. Crackety is specifically highlighting for the devs to see how broken, not how broken, because broken implies that it's good, how bad this is. This is just so bad, because with the trade post in the middle, yeah, sure, you've got a safer trading income, but it's like, it's only 34 gold. Like, 34 gold, bro? What are you gonna buy with 34 gold, mate? You could, in this economy with inflation this bad, you'd be lucky if you get half a mangonel with 34 gold, mate. It's terrible. It's terrible out there. Anyway, on the other side of the map, we've got the second town center coming down now for Zerton. Villager count still even between these two guys. In fact, Crackety with a little bit of a lead. I guess that obviously indicative of his trade economy that's going at the moment. I'm really hoping that he realizes about this Saharan Trade Network. Okay, all right. Now we're starting to talk a little bit better. This is starting to make a bit more sense, and I think Zerton's actually going to scout this one out. He sees this down here, but just remember, this still is terrible. This is still absolutely terrible compared to just a back-to-back trading thing. And it makes it so much harder to defend as well, because there's so much more space out here. And you've got to think about it from the perspective of the defender. Trying to defend that trade route when it looks like this, it's just not pretty. It's just not pretty. It's just not cricket. Anyway, for Zerton, it's a double stable that he's going to be going with. So in the last game that we witnessed where there was this kind of matchup, the primary difference was that our English player just looked to go to the third age because there was no need to stay around in the second age. Here, Zerton's like, well, if you're going to be trading, I'm going to be killing your traders because I ain't letting that, I ain't risking it. I ain't going to risk it. We do see an outpost going to be looking to defend this position. Crackety going to be holding on for dear life as the first of the horsemen make their way in. He's going to need a response to this. His first option, Spahi. His second option is Spears. And we've got a trader coming back with 58 gold. So once again, you know, it's literally got a third of the gold, less than a third of the gold that you would expect it to have. He's going to try and get it in here. Oh. And that is the consequence of trade, or at least bad trade. Let's just put it that way. So, I think Crackety, the one way that Crackety could play this, and I know it seems weird, please tell me that is giving him, yeah, okay. So the one way that Crackety could play this, and I know it seems weird, but basically what you would do, you would put this market all the way in this corner here. And then that way it's going to buff up your numbers. So instead of you getting, so at the moment I think it's like 70 gold or 60 gold every trip, you're actually going to be getting like 180 gold a trip, because not only are you going across the entire map, but you're also going diagonally as well. So it gives you like even more gold as more raids come in. And then what that is doing is that's giving you more initial gold here from your Saharan Trade Network. So your goal is not to keep your traders alive, but rather just to collect as much as you can from the Saharan Trade Network. But Crackety doing a decent job of repelling at the moment. He's also looking to start walling in. Keep in mind, he's got the villager that is down here. But now for the most part, Crackety just not looking pretty. Look at the numbers here from Zerton as well. And he can do this all day. And keep in mind, he's going to be aging up shortly as well. But now for the most part, it's looking all over Red Rover. I mean, he's just done a great job in shutting down the trade. But I guess let's not count him out. Let's not count out that Malian trade at this point. I just heard a message being typed in. I'm confident that that's probably something like Crackety, like, shouldn't have gone for trade. Yeah, Crackety shouldn't have gone for trade. So one of the things I have talked about in a previous YouTube video, which if you're watching this on YouTube, it will already be posted. If you're watching this on Twitch, it won't be online yet. But when you're going for Malian trade, there is definitely a time and a place to go for it. In this matchup, I think it's 100% the right time to do it. But when you get this spawn, and you can't control your spawn, you might be like, all right, I've got the perfect map. It's Dry Arabia. I've got the perfect matchup. It's against the English. And then you get into the game and it's like, ha! Trading post in the middle. Look at this shitty fucking trading. Like, oh my god, it's just heartbreaking, dude. It's just heartbreaking. It feels terrible for Crackety because, you know, we want trade to be fun. We want trade to be exciting. And then they give us maps where the trading post spawns in the middle like this. And it's like, well, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? What can I do? Like, really, what can I do with it? So I guess he can try and expand down towards this angle, but remember, the closer you expand down towards this position, the closer you get to your enemy. And that's where it gets harder because his reinforcements are going to be, or their reinforcements are going to be much closer, and your reinforcements are going to be further away. And you don't want it to be like that. All right. Well, for now, Zerton continues applying pressure, and you might think that Crackety is close to Zerton in score, and you might think that that's relevant. Well, just remember, score is so irrelevant in Age of Empires 4. At least that's the way I feel about it. You know, especially when scores are close. Don't look at score. I think that largely it's more about position, and it's about the mood of the game. Yeah, I don't think score is really that indicative, because at the moment, to be honest, I don't know what the efficiency of these traders are. And I don't know what they need to be considered to be at that max efficiency. Because maybe it is. Maybe the reality is that you don't actually need maximum efficiency traders to have an insane trading economy with the Malians. Obviously, you want maximum efficiency traders, but maybe you don't need them. And we now see that Crackety is going to be up against an enemy who is fighting him in the feudal age. So Zerton not even committing to the castle age here. Looking to try and fight it out. They're very, very aware of the power of his enemy and the Malian, the fabled Malian trade. Javelin's now going to be thrown off, taking out the horseman at range. Good night, sweet prince. But now javelin throwers going up against the longbowmen. Keep in mind the longbowmen do outrange them. 7 tiles on the longbowmen. I think it's 6 tiles on the javelin throwers. Yeah, 6 tiles on the javelin throwers. So ever so slightly outranged. Now he could always look to just go into Sofa. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him move into Sofa Warriors instead. But now he continues pushing it down. Longbowman looking decent, and he's always got the horseman here to try and repel this even further. Now he's got outposts, that he is putting up more outposts down here. So this should help him out a little bit. How many trades are we talking about on these bad boys? Let's see if we can get the perspective. What did you say to me? What did you call me? All right, well, now he's managed to break through the walls, but the majority of the units have managed to come back around. So, you know, I guess this is one of the things I should point out, all right, is that when it comes to the Malian trade, so typically when we see Malian trade, we see it in the best case scenario. You see that cross map trade, you know, your Altais, your Hillandales, all of the good ones, like the Pit, all of those, where you've got really effective trades. And the enemy kind of leaves them alone for 2 or 3 minutes, and then that's it. The game's over. But here, you know, you might think about Malian trade as this really broken concept. Well, have a look at the economy. He's sitting on 1,000 gold a minute. It's not that crazy. And when you consider that he's got 20 traders, it's really not that impressive. I mean, 20 villagers on gold is going to pull you in more gold than that. So, yeah, I guess for me, it's like, we've probably got to see where it goes, but he's got a nice little spot built up here. Age Up about to come through. We'll double check and see how he's going with it. There it is, the King's Palace coming in. Age Up about to arrive for Zerton. And now going to be moving into what you can only assume would be knights, and probably dropping down a monastery somewhere in the front of his base. More knights more stables going to be coming down. It is indeed knights that he is transitioning into. We also see wheelbarrow coming through. It's the classic 15-minute wheelbarrow. income at the moment for Zerton. Looking about 1,700. Compare that over to Crackety. And he's sitting on about 1,700 to 1,800 as well. So it's relatively even, I guess, for the most part. And I guess the longer the game goes on, it probably gets more efficient for Zerton. But now, the Donzo's on the backside, getting some good javelin throws off. Look at those javelin throws. Jeez Louise, they go so far. But he manages to take out a couple of units there. But the age ups come through, so expect to see veterancy sooner rather than later. Veteran horsemen, veteran longbows, some decent upgrades, as well as those knights. And where is that monastery? There it is, front of the base, as expected. Try and get a little bit closer out to those relics. But he's on 3 TCs now, so Zerton going to be really scaling for the late game. And remember, the longer this game goes, the better it gets for the English. The English typically considered to be the best late game civilization, the absolute S+ tier civilization in the late game. And there's a couple of reasons why that is, but largely it's because of their trebuchets, and it is just simply because they've got an insane economy in the late game. Very easy to macro for. Whereas the Malians, I think they're an up-and-coming late-game powerhouse. I do think that they're probably going to be an S-tier late-game civ as well. Up there, probably rivaling the Abbasid dynasty, just largely because of how good their cow economy can be, together with things like their pit mines. But now the defense going to be moving in from the south side this time. Looks like we've got a little bit of a reversal here. The Donzos finding effective counters to those horsemen. And now moving up to the north, you can see him looking to drop down those outposts inside the stealth forests. Really wanting to make sure that Zerton is trapping in Crackety in his base. It's going to be the Farimba garrison, though. Moving into a bit more of a gold-focused landmark. He could look to chop through here. There's not a lot of... He's actually got line of sight through. But unfortunately not going to be able to get through there. We'll need to chop through, though. He's got villagers out here. 2 villagers so far. Let's ride on board now with Crackety and see what direction he looks to go into. So keep in mind, he's got the Farimba garrison that he's dropped down. And it's going to be javelin throwers that he's going into. So it looks like a heavy mass of javelin throwers. Also looking to pick in the upgrades. We see the veteran Donzos. Veteran javelin throwers also coming through here. So with this, he's got a couple of options available to him. He's going to be going into balanced projectiles and also going to be going into fitted leatherwork. Make sure he definitely needs to think about precision training. Increasing the damage of the Donzo by 6 at range and 2 for the javelin throwers and as well as for the archers. So some big numbers there. But the longer this game goes on, the more and more likely it becomes that the English win. At least that's the way I feel at the moment. Perhaps that changes as the games continue, but the trading economy looking pretty decent here for Crackety. 90 villagers up against 96. Longbows holding on. All right, well, for the moment, Crackety maintaining a pretty solid defense. Relic still getting picked up behind the scenes. We hear, I think that's actually the first relic that gets picked up, so a little bit of a delay there, but it is going to be a central relic. It's not going to be one of those safer relics. But the numbers here looking decent for Crackety. Pretty even Stevens at the moment. More knights coming up towards the north. And now those javelin throwers moving forward, looking to try and trade out with the enemy longbows. Going to be successful here. Donzo's throwing back on the backside. Beautiful throws from the Donzos, able to defend that position without even exposing themselves. You got to love that. Anytime you can defend yourself without exposing yourself, it's always strong. And I'm not talking about the subway. I'm talking about boxing. A couple of Donzos now moving up towards the north. All right, we'll check in with Zerton and see how he's doing as he begins adding more outposts. I don't know exactly... Actually, I know exactly what happened to this villager up here in the north. Look, you can even still see the body down there. Ah, poor Sandra. Poor Sandra. Poor Lucy, whatever her name is. Maybe it was Bob. All right, well, he continues pushing forward. Crackety here might have found a little bit of a window. Sprinkled emplacements come through on the outpost. But the forces here looking very, very solid. And a couple of musofadi warriors going to be also coming out here. Veteran musofadi warriors. And Crackety here with the trade economy starting to ball ahead in the score. Just as before, I talked a little bit about not observing the score or not paying attention to the score. It's hard not to when it's on your screen poking at you like that. We're now going to clean up the first of these outposts. There's plenty more up here. As soon as the sprinkled emplacement comes in on this one, that's when you know it's going to get targeted down. Crackety unaware that it's here. Zerton obviously getting great insight into the base of his enemy. Now we've got one pit mine that's been built. Second pit mine has been built as well. Third pit mine down towards the south has come up. But yet to add in the houses around it. Still got a little bit of room that he needs to gather up. And now all of a sudden we've got villagers being intercepted. There's a keep that he was going for. Units down here to the south. These guys are invisible for the moment. Now going to get exposed. He's got more of them down here. His military is here as well, but villagers going to have to make a little bit of a run for it. We enter into the cinematic mode as the knights try their best to take out the villagers, but the problem is going to be that the musofadi are right on top of them. The keep gets cancelled, and now plenty of donzos down here with the javelin throwers. And now going to be able to secure up not only the sacred site, but also secures up the large gold vein, also secures up the small stone mine. He's in a great little spot, and once again, more knights trying to run back here, and we can see that Crackety here has made the right decision this game, and he has walled up, he has controlled the narrative, he is inspired by the Onion, and he is living the Onion lifestyle. Once again, children, if you're not living the Onion lifestyle, what is wrong with you? At the moment, walls are so damn cheap, they're so damn difficult to overcome, and look at the amount of damage that comes in. You came too close to the sun right there, Zertan, and now we got a problem. We got a big problem, and the problem is the Malian economy. Malian economy looking very solid, up to 2.2k gold a minute right now. Still, I guess Crackety's food economy not looking very solid, but he's just pumping out units non-stop. We see it's going to be more, I think, what do we got here? More donzos coming in, and look at that. He's got plenty of gold in the bank. And now the town center going to be under fire, under siege. Right here, like Steven Seagal on the south side of this base. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode as once again the knights try their best at it. Unfortunately, the longbows are here to back them up this time, and now the javelin thrower is going to be looking to focus them down. At the same time, more javelin throwers moving in from the east side, holding onto this position. Look at the donzos just surrounding these knights. It's not even close. Men-at-arms going to be coming out. That's going to be helping him plenty. The javelin throwers doing a great job of just dishing out so much damage, but the men-at-arms definitely seem to be the one that is holding them over. And it looks like it might be a bit of a cleanup here from Zertan. He's continuing to micro units back towards his position. The men-at-arms definitely going to be the saving grace here. We're going to bring back that UI because it looks like it's going to be an English cleanup on aisle number 3. And now the question is going to be whether that armor chatting has come in just yet, and indeed it has. That is going to be very powerful and difficult to deal with here. So Crackety might have to start thinking about moving towards that Imperial Age, maybe even moving towards something like the Musofadi Gunner as a potential option, or maybe even just going to the Imperial Age and just moving into mass Musofadi warriors. We've seen him do that before. Maybe we see him do that today. The economy for Crackety, what's it looking like? 44 traders at the moment. He's got more traders in queue as well. And it looks like the emplacement on the outpost has finally come through. Crackety going to be on the defensive. Population difference now really starting to show for Zertan. He's up 178 population on 134. The push coming to shove. The men-at-arms together with the longbows working very effectively against what the Malians can throw at this, because they want to make musofadi against the men-at-arms, but the problem is if they make the musofadi, that it gets countered by the longbows who double damage against the musofadi. It's like they picked up a double damage rune. It's like they were doing a crit, you know, that sort of thing. So now the musofadi are going to be running out. So I think the best thing you could probably do here is go for the sofa. But your food economy is so lacking because you went for the Farima garrison instead of going for the Grand Fulani Corral. He's going to be able to get the keep up. It doesn't look doubtful at all. But we also have Imperial Age now coming through for Zertan behind this. So with the keep getting up here, he manages to hold onto this position in the center of the map. Once again, he's able to survive. Keep going to be able to put down plenty of pressure here. And the men-at-arms probably going to be having to head back home. Up towards the north, we still see that Springwood emplacement firing off. The second sacred site has been captured. It's going to be 2 relics for Zertan. Now the third one is picked up as well. And he manages to hold it. Trebuchet is out for our English player. And he begins hurtling boulders towards this position. Just 2 or 3 villages to start repairing. It's going to be mitigating most of that damage. But now that 4th age has arrived. It looks like it's going to be a Wingard Palace towards the top side of the base. I'll accept this one. I think this is fine. It's away from the front. As long as it's just not out here, I will accept it. But we do see the healing circle now coming in as well for the longbowmen. Nice attempts down here on the south side, but unfortunately that keep, well, it's going to be keeping that relic and that sacred site nice and safe. We've got ourselves another market. He's extending out the market economy. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out. The market is expanding. He's up to 118 gold. Now we're starting to talk about some serious bucks. Look at the way he's expanding as well. Keep, unfortunately, going to get denied here. Villagers looking to drop down a Springwood emplacement, or the Springwood emplacement looking to come through on this. Donzos are turning their attention towards, or rather, what do we got here? We got Donzos as well as Musofadi coming in now. Going to be able to take that out. He's trying his best to take out the keep. You can see the units in the middle of the map still yet to move down here. But I'm loving the way that he's guiding all of the traders. Oh my lord, look at this. He's going to have to delete this market, or at least set the home trade market, or set the home trading, setting the home market to this one down in the south. That's probably going to be his best bet. Another outpost attempted from Zertan. We start to see stone walls coming up now, and definitely that's exactly what Crackety's going to be wanting, some stone walls on that south side. Keep now going to be able to secure this even better, even better than the original. Still up towards the north. We see that very annoying outpost just firing off towards that position, but he's broken through the walls. He's broken through the walls. Well, there's no walls yet, but you guys get what I mean. There's no walls just yet, but he wants walls to be down. Yeah, now behind that position, men-at-arms coming in. Elite men-at-arms still yet to be coming through. Tithe Barnes on the way in, as well as +2 insulated helm. Now jumping onto the gold mine. Villager count at the moment, 131 versus 117. Looking to try and get a bit more value out of his villagers back at home. It's up to 3.5k gold in the bag. Able to repel back the men-at-arms for the moment. Plenty of armor on these bad boys. Also going to be looking to research boiling oil. So he's got to keep in the middle of the map. He's going to be keeping that sacred site safe. Yet to expand up towards this northern sacred site. But now this keep going to be under serious pressure. Still yet to see any elite upgrades coming through. Now finally elite men-at-arms coming in. And we do have the veteran Sofa that have arrived onto the battlefield. This is the unit that he needed. This Sofa is going to change the way this game is played right now. It is going to absolutely change the way of the outcome of this game. Look at the armor. 7 armor here against the longbows with 9 damage. These guys do 2 damage a pop to the Sofa. And look at the Sofa holding. Right now we are seeing the game really evolving because the Sofa is 100% the way back into this game. And I think Crackety's realized this. He has got a huge, massive Sofa. He cleans this up completely. The boiling oil together with the Sofa, it is an absolute English breakfast on the ground right there. And Crackety is eating it off the floor. He doesn't care. He does not care that it's coming off the ground. He will take it all. What a beautiful hold right there for Crackety. Now moving towards the middle of the map. The first of the spearmen going to be making it out. We see elite army tactics, veteran spearmen also on the way in as well. He realizes that this is not good. Those Sofa, hold on a minute, they're quite strong. Elite men-at-arms finally has arrived. Trebuchet going to get down. That's going to hold the push out a little bit longer. He's going to continue running towards the enemy base. Now, unfortunately, Zerton here, he's been confident in his position, and as a result, he's avoided the onion. And typically, you want to avoid the onion when you're cooking just because of that smell. But just to remember that once you start sauteing it, it's going to start getting that beautiful aroma out. And now, really what we've got is just a lack of layers for the defensive position for Zerton, and now that's going to expose him. And now we start to see that villagers are going down. Fortunately, he's got plenty of units back here. He's going to be able to deal with this, but it could lead to a potential issue in the future. All right. More and more of those veteran musofadi warriors coming through. Ideally, I'd love to see more and more Sofas. I don't know where they're at right now, but you better not be sleeping on them, that's for sure. Watch out for these Sofas. They are incredible. And now look at the musofadi surrounding. He's got him underneath the keep. The boiling oil going to be provided. The boiling oil are going to be hitting the ground once again. And I know that, you know, we might be overdoing the onion references, but when you've got layers of onions, when you've got boiling oil, I mean, what else can you talk about, right? It is what we're designed to do. Age up now coming through for Crackety. He reaches the Imperial Age. Instead of going up with the Grial Bar, it's going to be the Fort of the Huntress. He looks to hold on this position a little bit longer. Trebuchet now joining the party as well. We see those attacks coming in from over on that west side. Upgrades now coming through. It's going to be, he's heading into elite Sofa, and look how fast that upgrade is coming through. Also going to be going into Farimba leadership. And this is where the tables begin to turn, because now the Sofa is an absolute powerhouse. Expect to see university drop down very soon. Expect to see biology in the queue shortly. Am I seeing no economic upgrades whatsoever coming out from Crackety right now? Oh my god. Impressive, Crackety. 28 minutes and not a single economic upgrade. I mean, you got wheelbarrow. I'll accept that. Where are our elite upgrades, though? He's got the elite Sofa. And down towards the south, it looks like we've got a beautiful little prevention of this stone wall from ever getting up. Men-at-arms down here going to be harassing more and more villagers. This market has got it's only got 15 active traders on the market. Ooh, that's not good. That is not a good position. Keep in the middle does go down, so double Trebuchet is out now. And keep in mind, they've got that extra attack speed, that extra 50% attack speed coming out now from the Network of Citadels bonus. Keep now looking for the cannon emplacement. We need to see those Sofas. There they are. Ideally, you'd love to see him move into elite Sofa and elite Archer. Well, yeah, elite Archer. So whether he does that, though, that's going to be a different matter. Now moving forward with the musofadi. Musofadi upgraded to elite as well. Beginning to focus down the counterweight Trebuchet. Keep in mind, he's got a bonus here against infantry. Doesn't have a bonus against siege. He's going to be able to clean up the siege here and stall out the push. But he's looking to try and break through the wall down here on the south side. Keep, unfortunately, not firing down upon any of these units. Under pressure. He's able to hold on a little bit longer. Up towards the north, though, that that emplacement on the outpost just continues working its magic. And look at the stone walls coming in now from Zerton. He is literally stonewalling his enemy in. You know, we talked about the onion earlier. Well, he's taken the onion and he's gone aggressive with it. Villagers now, it looks like they might have run out of stone. We can see -3 stone in the bag for Crackety. Not a decent position. Ottoman trade, or rather Malian trade, really getting tested this game. And now the hole in the wall has been broken. And as a result, the trader's going to be marching through. Boiling Oil comes out. Trying to hold on for dear life. He's got no stone available to him. He's got 3k gold in the bag. But Zerton in an absolutely dominant position, now looking to pick in upgrades. Elite Spearman coming through. +3 range attack. +3 melee defense, or range defense. He is looking to clean everything up. And of course, the classic 30-minute forestry upgrade. This is what you love to see. It's what you expect to see. And look how much damage these damn longbows do to these units. Musofadi unfortunately getting countered in the late game. They're just going to ignore the longbows and just instead go straight for the counterweight trebuchets. But dishing out plenty of damage, actually. They do 16 damage, so it's not terrible. But now a couple more reinforcements going to get picked up and peppered with a few more attacks from these elite longbowmen. You can see how much damage they do with the incendiary arrows. And the raids are broken through. Look at all of the, oh my lord, look at the, we got to get a picture of this right here. It is here. Oh my god, look at the amount of traders that we've got in here. This is absolute insanity. It's beautiful though. It is beautiful. There is definitely a party right now on the trade post. Towards the south side, we can hear those men-at-arms trying to break through. Not having a whole lot of luck, and Zerton pushing him back for the moment once again. Zerton's maxing out at 200 pop. Crackety, 138. Malian trade definitely needs to be used in those optimal environments. You can see whenever it's suboptimal, it's nowhere near as strong as what it could be. But you can see that, I mean, Zerton, realistically, he did a lot to challenge it. He made sure that he had horsemen in his enemy's base. I think you can probably go through this wall. I'm not 100% sure. No, actually, no, you can't. It's just been cancelled. You're going to be breaking down the gate, though. Gate goes down with that large opening now. A large crevice. All right, well, he sealed up the deal. And now he's got, oh my god, he's got 75 traders. 75 traders now. Oh my lord, this is okay, this is going to start. He's holding on. All right, let's see if he can do it. He's got 75 traders in a dream. And it's a pretty decent trade position that he's got 119 gold. I'll take it. I will 100% take that. That is pretty damn decent. Sofa's continuing to get pumped out. He needs to be moving into archers, though. It can't just be Musofadi and those Sofa. It needs to be Sofa with the archers together. And now the Sofa numbers looking good. Oh, the Musofadi from the south side. Huge numbers here on the front line. And Crackety going to be holding on a little bit longer. Just when you don't count him out just yet. You know, we talk about the late game. We talk about the elite players or the elite civilizations in the late game. We often point to the English. Hold on a minute. You're going to have to start pointing somewhere else, ladies and gentlemen, because the Malians are absolute madness. And up towards the north, that house is still under attack. A little bit of a break-in on the south side once again. He's going to be onto the traders, but keep in mind, there's 85 traders on this network. You're not going to be too fussed about the potential damage that's getting done down here. Yeah, you might lose one. You might lose 2 traders. It's not a big deal. And now Crackety, I mean, he's stabilizing. He's only on 1,300 gold or 1,300 food a minute at the moment. So you'd love to see him move over to a few more farms. Maybe consider getting the horticulture upgrade at the very least. Maybe make a few cows. Up to you, Crackety, what you want to do with all that extra gold. You've only got 8k of it anyway. You're sitting on 7,000 gold a minute, Crackety. So, you know, if ever you decide to invest in something other than gold, I'm going to be here to consult for you, mate. Anyway, for the most part now, Crackety is still looking like he might be holding on. Trebuchet firing off, hitting on the outpost. He's going to be able to take out that bonus, that network of citadels bonus. More melee units can be moving up, trying to hit that trebuchet before the reload happens. Looks like they're going to be successful here. The men-at-arms finding some success there. And the traders, unfortunately, the wall got broken, so all those traders are now going to be exposed on the front line. The men-at-arms looking to get in on the party. Musofadi going to be coming up. People talk about these Musofadi like they're useless, like nobody wants them. But all of a sudden, they find a little bit of an opening in this position. 1.38 movement speed, not too bad. Traders make it in unscathed. Definitely keen to continue living their lives as best they can. He's still sitting on 4.5k gold a minute. Malian trade, it's one of those things where, you know, you think it might be not that important on a map like this, and all of a sudden Crackety here finds a way to make it Crackety there. Still holding on for dear life. We hear the Springald emplacement together with the cannon emplacement 35 minutes into this game. And now the more Sofa's going to be rejoining. And don't tell me there's another hole. Where's that damn hole? Oh, he's got a bloody gate in. Get rid of that gate, Crackety. Get rid of that damn gate. And you can see he's immediately realized he's got to fix up that gate because they are coming through the wrong way. All right, well, up towards the north, the Sofa numbers continue to increase. He's looking like he might get a bit of a surrounding and does the right thing, bypasses all of the men-at-arms and then goes straight to the longbowman on the backside. This is 100% what he wants to be doing. Wants to try and keep hitting at this this mass of longbows. But now we can see Zerton. I mean, he's starting to stack up resources, but Crackety, he's floating a fair amount himself. He's managed to stabilize though, and he's looking impressive. Farimba Garrison just pumping out elite musofadi warriors non-stop. It is the only unit he's making. He's going for musofadi warriors together with elite Sofa. And keep in mind, these guys get buffed up by Farimba leadership, which means that instead of 1.38 movement speed, they're running at 1.58 movement speed. Throw in the fact that they also get the ability to dive on their enemy or charge their enemy. And you're not talking about 1.58 movement speed. You're talking about almost 2.0 movement speed. It is a huge amount. I wonder what it actually is. Let's wait and watch for it. It's massive. Zerton, I mean, I'm starting to worry for him. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know, typically we talk about English as the powerhouse in the late game, the unstoppable civilization that can't, you know, nothing can really rival them. But all of a sudden, Malians come out and they're like, well, I don't need siege. All I need, it's an open battlefield. You give me an open battlefield and I'm going to take it. I don't think. Let's see if we can. I want to try and find one of those musofadi warriors with the charge going on. Full wall for the moment. I'd love to see just a couple villagers brought forward to chop through this. It would be absolutely beautiful. If he can make it through to the enemy base and start camping the villagers, oh my lord, it's pretty much good game if he can do that. There's so many damn units. And look how fast they move around. He's going to be heading up towards the north once again. Zerd attacking the walls here like an easy AI. He's just like, yeah, you know what? I just don't like walls in particular. And now, all of a sudden, those elite Sofa are going to get found. We're going to be finding the enemy. Musofadi from the back line going to be connecting here. The Sofa want to just be running through. They want to just be running past all this, and now we can see the musofadi charging. 1.58 movement speed on those bad boys. But I would expect there's going to be some of them that are going to be running fast. I really want to see just how fast they go. And look at it. Look at that. A complete cleanup once again. But Zerton going to be happy to throw away that. He's going to head back to the drawing board. And how does he even deal with this composition? You know, what do you make against this? I guess crossbows? Do you make crossbows? But even crossbows are going to lose against elite Sofa, right? They're just too fast. They're too fast. 1.73 movement speed. They're so damn fast. You can make horsemen, but even horsemen don't work against this. I don't know. What beats this composition? 13k gold in the bank right now for Crackety. He's saving for a house. He's going to need a little bit more at the current prices, but he's on the way. He's got a decent deposit. Let's just put it that way. Men-at-arms did finally break through. We'll check in on the active trade account. 87 active traders. Not all of them using the best market, but he is slowly making it work. Keep holding it down. Going to be getting the Springwood emplacement together with the cannon emplacement so I can defend this position a little bit more, but Triple Siege Workshop now coming in on the front line. Crackety going to have to start deleting units, and look at the production that he's got sitting in here. 15 Sofa in queue, 11 Musofadi Warrior, but just remember that a lot of those 11 Musofadi Warrior are technically 5, so probably closer to like 40 Musofadi Warrior. And now running forward once again with the elite Sofa. I guess Spearmen are probably the right choice. Maybe Spearman Crossbow might do it, actually. But once again, it's just going to be Crackety overwhelming his enemy here. Malian's definitely one of those late game powerhouses, and he's going to start working towards that stone wall gate. Once he's taken this down, he's going to be able to break through, and we can see him heading down towards his position, looking to try and deal with the counterweight trebuchet that is down here, and you can see him just absolutely flying through here. 1.58 movement speed. Manages to take out all of these units. I'm still trying to find... Here we go. 1.94. There you go. That is our charging Musofadi Warrior with the Farimba leadership bonus. 1.94 movement speed. Oh my lord. All right, well, hand cannoneers going to be coming out. Perhaps spears on hand cannoneers might be the right decision, right option for him. And see, this is part of the thing, right? We were talking about this earlier, is that the advantage at the moment definitely sits with the English because you're comfortable with the English, but you're playing against a civilization, the Malians, that you don't really know what to do against. So, it's kind of twofold in that regard. He's broken through. The first of the walls has gone down. The re-wall not coming through just yet. Plenty of elite Sofa out here, not paying attention. Keeps going to go down on the backside. Sofa, unfortunately, going to get eaten alive here. Right now, Zerton just looking like Jeffrey Dahmer eating the heart out of Crackety. All of those units, where did Crackety go? Crackety, where you at, brother? He broke a hole through the wall. He could have run 18 Sofa through there, but instead, he just runs them to death. And now more and more. Look, just look. This is an absolute insane battle right now that is happening. It is just absolute insanity. And now Sofa's coming in. Massive battle here. Going to be able to take out that second trebuchet as well. Unlikely that they'll get the third one, but they're going to attempt for it. It's going to be close, actually. They might get it. Shattering projectiles finally coming in now for our English player. A little bit late on that shattering projectiles. Now, I was going to say, I'm starting to worry whether you've got geometry, and it seems that he didn't have geometry either. He's trying to break through on this backside and not having a whole lot of luck. Hand Cannon is out here as well, just repairing up. Or rather, Hand Cannon is trying to kill the villagers that are repairing up the Siege Workshop. Siege Workshop going to survive. And more trebuchets. In fact, he's ignoring trebuchets. He's going straight for bombards. He's going to blast through that wall like no tomorrow. I'd love to see him just chop through here. And once again, it looks like the men-at-arms going to be trying their best. Oh, interesting. I like my reaction to that. That was pretty good. Stone wall up towards the north. He could have just walked around the stone wall. Instead decides, I'm going to blast through the stone wall. But now we see that the keep just providing so much value here. Now the bombard going to be working down the Saharan trade network. No, you don't want to hit the Saharan trade network. This is massive. This is a huge amount of his economy that is going to get eaten alive. It's all of his food economy at this point in the game. How many villages does he even have on food? He's got 9 villages on food, 20 on wood, 6 on gold, because so many of his economic units are just those traders. But if he loses the Saharan trade network, that is it. That is all over for that food economy. Now the bombard towards that north side. Going to be working on the keep. The same time towards the south side, we've seen a pretty decent cleanup here. Zerton continuing to smash out units, and we've got an absolutely insane battle here. This is ludicrous. These guys are so evenly matched. This matchup is just it is a real nail biter. It is a head scratcher as to how this one goes. Keep still firing off with that AoE damage up towards the north. It looks like finally Crackety's going to have to address this issue. I bet he's wishing at this point that he'd invested in an actual decent stone wall here a little bit earlier. But look at the men-at-arms continuing to funnel in. The keep going to be able to hold on with its emplacements. And now Crackety still just looking to defend. The third sacred site is like the one key difference here, right? Like if this third sacred site was controlled by Zerton, then maybe this game was over 20 minutes ago. But it's not. It's controlled by Crackety, and he really fought to get that sacred site, or get that one under control. Gold economy, 8,700 gold a minute. Sure. I mean, it's just Malian things, isn't it? It's just Malian things. It's a lot of gold. It's a lot of gold. And now more trebuchets coming through. Hand cannoneers and spears definitely were the right combo. They seem to be doing a lot better than the men-at-arms and longbow. I don't know if that was an intentional rhyme, but I'm a little bit ahead of my time. It ain't no crime. Anyway, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. But I reckon this composition's pretty decent here. Bombard now going to be coming out. The spearmen are going to be trying their best to take it out. Going to be successful here unless the villagers get pulled. Villagers not going to get pulled. 21 health on the bombard. Stays alive a little bit longer. And now production just continuing to be flooded into the middle. He's also got javelin throwers now coming out. So looking to... Is he throwing the javelins at the hand cannoneers? Is that where he's going with that? Okay. So he's doing 18 with 13 ranged. Hold on. Are hand cannoneers ranged? Yes, they are. Light range gunpowder infantry. Bombard now getting repaired up towards the north. Still we've got... I mean, the men-at-arms are doing more damage by idling these traders than they are by killing them. And look at this. We've got real problems here. This is where the attention is. And you can see Zerton right now playing this game like a treaty player and realizes what he needs to do. He needs to try and open up his enemy from different angles, and Crackety is indeed getting open from different angles. Down to 150 population. Zerton sitting on 200 at the moment, very safely, very happily. The party on the trade post is still happening at the moment, but Malian trade is nothing to be messed with. We can say that with 100% certainty today. We have witnessed even a Malian trade game where they had suboptimal trade, where the enemy player contested the Malian trade. You can see how strong that Malian trade is. I genuinely think you're going to be seeing so much Malian trade coming out at Red Bull Walla, or even just trade in general. Honestly, trade has been buffed up massively. Don't underestimate it. I think it's going to have a very, very... we are entering Season 3, the season of trade. Let's just say that... Let's just put it that way. He still manages to clean up this northern position. Saharan Trade Network is back alive. You can see him picking up... Oh, no, we got... Oh, no, not like this. Trader on the trader highway. Look at him go. Look at it go. So much value. 0 gold. This has got to be bug abuse, right, guys? It's insane. Look how much his value is getting out of this. I don't think he's going to realize. He's got so many traders, he's not even fussed. So he manages to clean up this attack from the north. He's not going to be able to really shut it down. He can always come back next time. Next year. Same place, same time. Where are the trebuchets? Doesn't look like there's any, but the keep is burning. There's no villagers here to repair, so he's going to have to pull villagers from somewhere. How many villagers does Crackety even have at this point in the game? He's got 9 villagers. 9 villagers, fair enough. 98 villagers in total. How many of those are from... Oh, the trebuchets on the market. That's good game. The trebuchets on the market, that's good game. That's how you shut down the trade economy. And I think he's finally realized. He's like, wait a minute. What about instead of fighting the bull, I just don't fight the bull at all? What if I just fight the goblin? I guess that's probably the best way to say it. But now, managing to hold on in the middle of the map. Still, these units just continue to come out. The stone walls have just given him so much value because Crackety's just throwing away units into the meat grinder. But now, with that market going down, good game gets called almost immediately. Zertan victorious. The Malian trade empire is not victorious today, despite... I mean, it was very close. It had a lot of potential. I genuinely think, had Crackety not only... He exposed the hole in the wall, but if he had run through and actually gone through with a lot of his army, he could have just flooded the base, and it would have been a good game. Because there's no shutting that down. It's just, there's too many units in that base. What an absolutely crazy game. These guys reaching Imperial about halfway through that last game. We take a look at the villager count, and you can see Crackety down so far, but then we're going to have a look at the economic unit count, and now we're hey, come on, game. Don't do that to me. And now we're talking serious business. Look at that, just throughout the game. Sitting on about 140. So many damn traders out there, fellas. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you check out Red Bull Wall. It might be happening right now. It might be over. I don't know. It's probably not over, so maybe check it out. If you're watching this on Twitch, let's keep going. And look, what's going to be next for you, YouTube guys? Well, this is what's going to be next. We saw a victory coming out from Zertan on the English, which means that Crackety loses on the Malians, which means Crackety is onto his last civilization. It is going to be the Delhi. Now, that doesn't mean it's the last game, okay? Because if Crackety does win with the Delhi, then he goes on to one of the new civilizations. And he could potentially beat out Zertan, and as long as he doesn't lose a game with one of the new civilizations, then he will be able to continue playing on and potentially win the event. So, there it is. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. And, yeah.